can take me or leave me. Can't ever come back home.
She's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll, but she's also a little bit opera. Bonnie Montgomery calls Central Texas home now, Wimberley to be precise, but she was born in Arkansas and started her musical journey there. The sounds of steel guitars and fiddles provided the soundtrack to her upbringing.
It was just in the background, you know, and I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it, but it was a lot of Hank Williams Sr., Johnny Cash, Loretta, you know, Patsy Cline. It was the classics.
Aside from the classics, she was also drawn to classical. I asked her what came first.
My family supported that, so they got me lessons when I was like 3 years old on piano. So I don't know which came first, really. It's always kind of been both.
Montgomery says she studied music in Arkansas and Missouri. After nearly a decade of schooling, she went her own way.
I had sort of started to write, and when I was writing, it wasn't classical. It was coming out as country songs. So I was just feeling this freedom and liberation through that writing process and being able to like just sing whatever I wanted. And it was just coming out as country-ish songs.
But Bonnie Montgomery wasn't done with classical. She and a poet friend came up with the idea of writing an American folk opera about a young Bill Clinton growing up in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Such like a crazy harebrained idea that I felt in my heart that it was going to go all over the place. But at the time I was writing it, you know, it was kind of like, what is this, you know? But I just got really inspired. Being from Arkansas, I like to read autobiographies. So I read Bill Clinton's autobiography and his mother's autobiography. And she was a really colorful, amazing woman.
In 2016, Montgomery's opera Billy Blythe made its official debut at Opera Ithaca in New York to critical acclaim.
His story is just, it's very full of drama and high drama and lots of tension and all the things that make up an opera.
During the pandemic downtime from playing live shows, Montgomery's been doing a lot of writing. Her next project is a classical piece called Song Beyond Words. Part of Call Out, a virtual album celebrating women composers by Broadway and Metropolitan Opera star Zachary James. She says it was supposed to make its debut at Carnegie Hall this fall, but the pandemic changed that.
I wrote the piece for piano, steel guitar, like country-style steel guitar, and then the two voices.
Song Beyond Words was inspired by the recent passing of composer Ennio Morricone, as well as Montgomery's time as a standing rock water protector.
I just started envisioning this piece without any words, especially because a lot of the things that I've been feeling during the pandemic are kind of beyond language, you know? It's kind of hard to even put it into words.
And they can take me or leave me. They can't ever come back home.
As a throwback country crooner, Bonnie Montgomery is the Arkansas Country Music Awards Entertainer of the Year in 2020. And yes, she's still writing country music.
I'm ready to cut a new album, hopefully within the next 6 months, that'll happen. So, and of course I normally would be touring and everything, but as we know.
Yeah. You get inspired by Wimberley?
Oh, totally. 100%. This piece for Carnegie is called The Song Beyond Words. There's no words in it. And I think after I wrote it, I realized that some of the bird calls around here were actually in the piano part that I wrote. So yeah, I'm like living and talking to the animals out here.